Hello and welcome to the video. In this video I will be showing you how I created the prosthetic for my zombie look for Halloween this year. This will be in two parts. In this first part I'll show you how I built the prosthetic, and in the second part I'll show you how I painted it. Alright, here we go. I'm just going to kind of go over the products I'll be using. I have liquid latex, cotton balls, my face cast that I made using the Ellimacs face cast tutorial. I will link that down below. Mine is just kind of stained from a previous prosthetic sculpt. I couldn't get all of the clay off of it, so it's kind of stained, but I did seal it with wood glue, so it won't be an issue here. These are acrylic teeth that I found off of Amazon. And then this is the reference photo that I'm going to be using as inspiration for my zombie. Starting out, I'm just putting some liquid latex into a glass bowl. I'm also pulling out some palette knives to use to help smooth it all out. Alright, I'm going to be ripping up the cotton balls into strips. This will help me make nice thin layers as I'm building up the prosthetic. And just taking a little makeup sponge, I am going to start here on the eyebrow section. I'm just laying down some latex, and then I will put the cotton on the latex, and then I will soak the cotton with more latex to start forming the shape of the eyebrow. And I'm trying to build up kind of an angry eyebrow here. This does take a few layers to get it the way I want it. Here I am just using the palette knife to flatten down the edges. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you completely saturate the cotton. You don't want any dry cotton in the middle of your prosthetic, because it will start to fall apart. Here I'm just laying down the foundation for the forehead and starting to kind of build out the hollows on the temples on the forehead. And all throughout the process you'll see me using the palette knife and my finger just to flatten everything down. This really helps define the shape that you want. Here I'm starting to do the eye socket. I really want to build that up so that it looks like I'm gaunt, like I'm starving, like I'm dead. And I'm just following my anatomy, and it's nice that I have this face cast, but if you don't have a face cast, you can use like one of the styrofoam wig heads or even just like a plastic mask from the Halloween shop, just so that you have the general face shape to be building the prosthetic off of. I do recommend that whatever you use, you seal with some sort of glaze or Mod Podge or wood glue, so that the latex has a harder time sticking to it and it doesn't completely ruin your prosthetic when you want to take it off. Here I'm building up the bridge of the nose, because I want it to kind of look like my nose has been ripped off. So I want to bulk that out a little bit on the prosthetic just to give that illusion. And then same with the cheeks, I want to build those up so that it looks like I'm gaunt or, you know, a dead zombie. Here I'm just going to hold this up to the camera so that you can see the detail a little bit better and what I've done and the progress that I've made here. Here I'm starting to build up the skin flap, I guess you could say, from where the mouth looks like it has been ripped off. And I'm just layering up the latex here, and then I'll take my palette knife and kind of peel it away from the prosthetic to get that ripped skin look. I liked the way this other side turned out, so I'm going to be kind of pulling and shredding the cotton on that first side, just so that it looks a little bit more torn. And then here's a close-up of the top of the ripped out mouth. Here I'm just starting to build the jaw up, making it look nice and bony. And I'll take that around onto the chin and build out the chin as well. And now I jumped to the bottom set of teeth because I kind of just experimented with the top set to see how to do it and how it would work best. Here I'm just laying up a base of cotton and latex for the teeth. Just getting that really saturated with the latex so the teeth have something to stick to. I'll be honest, this was a little bit difficult to get the teeth placed and get them to stay at the beginning. Took a little bit of trial and error. You'll see that I kind of struggle with it. But here I'm just pressing the teeth down into that latex and cotton to start to get them where I want them. And I probably should have taken like a Dremel or something and kind of flattened out the back of these. It may have made it a little bit easier because these are really thick on the back of the teeth, but I eventually got it to work in a way that it turned out fine. And you see me struggling here to get the teeth to stay while I'm trying to put the layer of cotton over the teeth. So what I did is I put a little bit of latex on there and I started to allow it to dry, and then I saturated the cotton before I put it over the teeth, and then I used the palette knife and my fingernails to kind of wedge it down and blend it in so that the teeth wouldn't move. And then here you can kind of see where I'm creating the lines of the gums around the teeth, just to add that detail so that I can add the shading later on. Alright, and after about 45 minutes of struggling with those teeth, this is how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with the results. If I do this again, I might try it a little bit of a different way. Now I'm just taking more latex and covering the entire prosthetic with just more layers of latex and kind of smoothing it out with the palette knife to make sure all the details are how I want them, and then just make sure everything is sealed all together with the latex. The great thing about zombie makeup is it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not really worrying about my edges too much. I'm building up where I need to build up a little bit more. But I'm not really caring much about my edges because it's supposed to look like rotting flesh and it doesn't have to be 100% seamless. That's why this is a great beginner's prosthetic, because it doesn't have to be perfect and you can customize it to look pretty much however you want, and it'll just look cool no matter what you do. Alright, here we go. This is the finished prosthetic build. I am going to let this dry overnight and then I will come back and paint it. That will be part 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and please go follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!